Hello, welcome to the kitchen. I'm Bryony.
And my name's Tracy. Welcome to everyone watching on Facebook and to our Cooks Collective members on the membership website and Matters of Taste customers as well. So today we are going to show you a little Japanese number where I love this idea. Pork katsu sandwich, so breaded pork cutlet sandwich. It's crazy, isn't it? But I don't know, when I was a kid, I used to love eating crisp sandwiches, like chippies.
Oh, I did that recently.
I love it.
My son had them, and I was like, "Oh, I might try that." He said, and he wanted chicken chips, chicken crisps.
Oh, okay.
It's pretty good.
But you see, it's all about texture. All about texture. Now, I'm going to be starting off. I just want to get this on because I'm going to be making a caramel, which seems a bit crazy, doesn't it, when we're talking sandwiches? But I've got a little bit of water in there. I'm going to add my caster sugar into here, and this is going to be the base of oh, excuse me, you got water. Well, I did have water, didn't I?
I'll get you one.
Oh, thanks, Brian. I'm just attention seeking, really. The tonkatsu sauce is thank you, fantastic. Is that from the gin tap?
Yes.
Yeah, good. Okay.
It's distillery.
That's better. This is tonkatsu sauce is let's start at the very beginning. Tonkatsu sauce is a Japanese vegetable and fruit sauce, and it's very popular. And it's sort of based on a little bit of the Worcestershire sauce type of savoury sort of flavour. Sort of a little bit, somebody said to me the other day, oh, it's just like a brown sauce. It is
It's
a bit.
like HP.
Yeah, well, it was you. It wasn't
It was
just
me.
somebody.
Yeah, somebody. It was me saying it's like the Japanese. Just somebody who said that.
No,
it's the Japanese version of HP sauce.
Yes.
So you can put it on anything.
And I sort of thought to myself, because we bought this a little while ago, because we did do this recipe quite a while ago, but we're re-recording it now because I also wanted to make sure that I teach you how to make a fresh tonkatsu sauce. If you like brown sauce, or you've got a large consumption of tomato sauce at home, you may want to give this a go, because this has got a little bit of sugar in, whereas this is full of the very nasty, very super refined high fructose corn syrup. In fact, it's the most the biggest ingredient in here is the high fructose corn syrup, hence the actual texture. Excuse me. This is delicious, but not particularly good for you. So I'm going to make a little caramel here, which is very simple to do. But you can double this recipe easily, right? And make a litre of this sauce. I don't know where my sauce is. Here's some I made earlier.
I didn't know you had some.
I took it out, didn't I? Is
that what that was? This?
Yes.
Ah, right.
That's the made. This is my homemade tonkatsu sauce.
Ah, okay.
So it makes about, I don't know, 4.
So it is quite.
It's quite
thick.
Yeah, it's delicious. You try it. She'll go, that's
I will.
delicious like
I'm gonna
that.
try that.
And so we do have to start off with the caramel, because it does give it that slight.
So we're serving with this one, so we haven't got a hot one.
Well, that's right. Partly why I thought it's good, isn't it? It's really good.
Awesome.
And I'm going to show you as well how easy it is to make caramel. And the sandwich is very, very simple to make.
Yeah.
The sauce is a little bit more complex.
So
they can buy it. You can buy it if you want to, or you can mix something ketchup, Worcestershire sauce, and something else.
Yeah.
Just Google it.
So like
tonkatsu.
barbecue sauce sort of thing.
Yeah.
But this is cool this is sometimes food if you're going to use it from the bottle. But if you want it a bit more often, then it's worth making it.
Totally.
And that will
Keeping it in your
store
fridge.
for how long?
For ages.
For ages.
You've got
in a clean jar.
Yeah, or
in
like
the
a
fridge.
squeezy bottle that you can just
Oh,
squeeze.
yeah. That makes it convenient.
Squeeze
doesn't
over anything. Eggs in the morning.
Yeah,
sausage
so-
sandwiches. Gosh.
But as you say, it's a simple sandwich.
Can
But
the cameraman just come in from the top? Sorry, because I'm not going to.
Are you
You
gonna
can
caramel?
see that with the caramel, I've got it on number 8, which is sort of medium high. I put some water in there, added the sugar, so dissolved the sugar. I haven't even stirred it. I've just been swirling the pan, and now it's at the stage where all the water has just about disappeared because it's evaporated out of the pan. That means that sugar can now start rising in temperature because it's got no water in there, because sugar boils so much higher than just water, and it'll start caramelizing. Oh, look, there it goes around that side there. So just give it a little swirl.
And so what colour do you want to get it to?
I want to get it to
maple syrup.
Yeah, it's just about there. A little bit, yeah, maple syrup-ish.
And you can smell the change as well in it.
Yeah,
the
absolutely.
Sugar change
So just don't stir it at this point in time, because it will definitely crystallize and sort of go back to crystal sugar, which we don't want. So it will, if you walked away from it now because someone called you from the other room, you'd come back, it'd be absolutely black. So you've got to be really careful with this. Even if you turn it off, it'll carry on cooking. So at this point in time, I'm smelling some lovely caramelly flavors, which is going to make this sauce eventually taste absolutely fantastic. But what I'm going to do is stop it cooking with just about 80 mils of water. So what will happen is this will totally seize up in the pan, and the caramel will set when I add this water. So if we can keep the camera on the top, I'm going to add it just about now. You can see it's smoking. There's a nice caramel colour. Crazy. So give that a swirl around, and that'll just dissolve the set sugar in the pan. So you can see, if I just push it sideways a bit, can we see that? There's still a little bit of sugar in the bottom of the pan. This water will dissolve that sugar off, but you can see we've got a lovely caramel type liquid in there. I am going to add 1 more tablespoon of sugar as well, because that sugar now tastes very different to white sugar. So it will sort of layer up. Sounds a bit weird, doesn't it? Layer up the sugar. Just 1 more tablespoon in there. Just allow that to dissolve. That's not going to caramelize. That's just going to dissolve in there. So just set that
What
aside.
about using something like honey or golden syrup or something? I mean, honey would have a specific flavour.
I think perhaps you could
different.
Use maple syrup, but it still has that sweetness without the caramel, doesn't it?
Right, yeah.
There's, this makes 500 mils or something. It's not exactly loads of sugar, is it?
Yeah.
I think I'd probably keep it that clean sugar flavour, rather than, I would definitely not put honey in here. It would just taste totally different.
Yeah.
So Bry's been chopping up some fruit and vegetables. So we've got
apples, carrots, onions.
Yep.
And medjool dates, which I've taken the stone out and given that a rough dice. So you
really
want
good.
this stuff
Yep.
first.
So we're going to pop all of this into this hot caramel.
So there's fruit and vegetable in there.
I know. Well, it is. It's a fruit and veggie sauce, isn't it? Really.
Yes.
And then I'm going to pop the. I'm going to do some spice as well, but I'm going to put this mixture of stuff in, and you've got to guess what's in there. Only joking. Imagine if we did that. That would be really mean.
Do you want me to start running through it?
Yes, if you'd like to.
We've got the Worcestershire.
Yeah, I remember at school we had to spell that. If we could spell Worcestershire sauce or Worcester sauce, we got really like 10 out of 10.
Light soy. So what do we get from the Worcestershire?
The Worcestershire sauce is fruity. It's that lovely, adds instant richness. It's got everything in it. It's Mr. Umami, I think, isn't it? Really?
Right.
No preservatives, no artificial. Malt vinegar, spirit vinegar, molasses, sugar, salt, anchovies.
I was going to say, isn't it from anchovies?
Yeah, anchovies as well. So when we were doing this, I was making the sauce, and Anthony, my vegetarian daughter, came along and she went, "Oh, that smells really lovely." I said, "It's got anchovies in." Tamarind extract as well. Remember we found that out ages ago when we were researching
So you've got
tamarind.
salt, sour, sweet.
Yes. Yeah. That's why everyone loves Worcestershire sauce. This is my secret
everything.
ingredient for shepherd's pie.
Okay.
I'm going to make shepherd's pie soon. I love shepherd's pie. Delicious. A good shepherd's pie. So yeah, that's a really good sort of umami, sweet, sour, salty sort of sauce.
And this brand is your favourite
I like
one.
the Liam Perrins.
Yeah.
I must admit,
Vinegar.
it is my favourite one.
Vinegar.
This light soy, we're using a Chinese one, doesn't really matter. You can use the healthy boy yellow bean soy if you want to. Dark soy is a little bit sweeter with a little bit of molasses. Yeah, I've just turned that off. A little bit of molasses in there, and you can see it's used for colour as well. So see how viscous that is? It just sticks to the jar, just sticks to the bottle on the inside. So that's the thick soy. We've got some tomato passata as well, not tomato paste. It's just too overpowering,
too rich, too tomato, too tomatoey, too tomatoey concentrate.
Some red wine, if there's any left over. We had 32 mils in here. It's meant to be 50, but we've just gone with it, right? Because we're women who can live on the edge, and we know that 32 mils is okay when it says 50. And some white vinegar. So definitely this sort of white vinegar is a really good idea because that's the rice vinegar. I'm going to pop the lid on this.
But if you haven't got that, you can just
use white wine, but Bri, it's not quite as good.
No, I was seeing regular white vinegar or apple cider vinegar. You got apples in there.
Well, I suppose you could use apple cider vinegar, and I get what you're saying about the apples, but with apple cider vinegar, it's more vinegary than this vinegar.
Okay.
So it's got a much stronger sort of flavour as far as sourness goes, whereas that's a little bit milder. That's why we don't use this when we're doing fermenting or preserving, because it's not vinegary enough. Yeah. So, but that for the Narcissus rice wine vinegar is the one to choose in your Asian supermarkets.
And these, did you do?
Yeah, the last two. But gosh, and if we missed these out, it wouldn't be tonkatsu sauce. So I've got some cloves and I've got some nutmeg. And I always feel very grown up when I use nutmeg.
Oh, so you have to have 1/8 of a teaspoon.
Yeah, but
of ground cloves and ground nutmeg.
Yeah. So this, we've got whole nutmeg. Whole nutmeg is, I don't know, unless you're a nutmegaholic, I've never met anyone who is, you may not use nutmeg all that often. Therefore, I suggest that you buy whole nutmeg, because if you've bought whole nutmeg, then it's so much easier. Well, not easier. You'll get a lot more life out of whole nutmeg. I've had some in my pantry 4 years.
Me too.
Oh, will you just smell that?
Okay.
It's beautiful, isn't
yes,
it?
it is.
Absolutely beautiful. So about 1/8 of a teaspoon. That's it. Just don't put too much in, otherwise it's just going to be a bit overpowering with the spice. And cloves, there again, I buy them whole for my ham at Christmas time. I don't really use ground cloves in anything. You might have a cake mixture, or cake, what's it called, recipe that you might use all of this in, and therefore you've got them all in your pantry. Well, that's fantastic.
Bouncing.
But I like to buy them whole like this and then smash them up like this or grate them, and the flavour of that is amazing. And even if you're not really a clove lover, I think it actually works really well in here with all the other ingredients in as well. So about 1/8 of a teaspoon. So 1/8 of a teaspoon is half of a quarter. So a good, like a 5-finger pinch, in it goes.
Accurately measured. All right. Oh, so
fantastic.
let me smell that. So
fantastic.
it's
Absolutely beautiful.
fruit, sweet and savoury.
It's got everything, hasn't it?
Yeah, awesome. Okay, so how long are you going to let that? Was it
about 15 minutes, which probably been on about 5 already, so I'll just put it on for about.
So moving on to the pork.
9.
Yes.
Pork for
My turn?
Yes.
Right.
Do you want to tell them about this first?
So what we found is this. That one's quite peppery because I slipped and put my white pepper on. Yeah, that's my. I'm a pepper lover. White pepper and salt. I've gotten these. So these are pork loin. What steaks? That's what they're called from. And
supermarket.
Yeah, so they just come like this, and Tracy came across those and was like, "Oh, that's awesome." I was supposed to take some of the fat off of that. I'll do that.
Oh, no, I wouldn't. Just
don't worry, fat. That's going to melt and give us flavour.
You can take it off at home.
What we were going to use, and Tracy's going to show you this bit, so I'll just go under this camera, is the pork loin cutlets. So Tracy's just going to show you how she's preparing that and bone it out.
A little T-bone without. I bought.
So it's like
buy the ones without the fillet on. Perfect.
Right.
So that we can just take that T-bone off and just. I mean, I'm not a butcher by any means, but I just go around
cut close to the bone
with a really sharp knife.
And then
is basically that,
but in half.
But
that way.
Fatter.
Yes. So you'd have to bash that out, which I'll do in a moment. I'm just going to show you this. So as I said, put salt and pepper on these, white pepper because it's a white meat. What I've got is, so always season your meat before crumbing. And I'm going to season the meat. So the meat is seasoned. If you season one of these, you're not getting much
it just
seasoning
off,
on
it.
Yeah. So we're going to do the old flour egg wash breadcrumb. The breadcrumbs we're using are the beautiful Panko because it's Japanese.
I'll make stock out of this later.
Yeah, all right. So when you're crumbing, and then we're going to do a double crumb because we want it super crunch.
And what's the point in the Panko crumbs?
Because it's Japanese and it's super crunchy.
Oh,
somebody didn't put their phone on silence. Oopsie. And with the flour, just make sure you brush that off. And then into the egg wash, and because I'm doing it on my own, I'm actually not going to put my
you know what you can use?
Or a fork, actually. Yeah.
You know what you can use?
Easier. What's that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Now I've dirtied like 3 different things.
Well, it's up to you, but
okay, cool.
It's quite cool, isn't it?
Yeah. Or if you're proficient in chopsticks, you could use that. And that would be quite Japanese. Anyway, the whole idea or the point would be is to make sure that you don't have like egg wash dripping off that. Same with the flour. So if there's too much flour, your egg wash, like by the end, your crumb's not going to stick. And then into the crumbs. Now I can go back to my hands. So I'm just trying to keep my hands dry so you don't get fully caked. And then we're going back to the egg wash.
We want a double crumb because we want it to be really super crispy.
Super crunch. Well, make sure I've got that nicely coated. All right. And then back into the egg wash.
I'm actually going to get these. I might just give these a quick bash.
Yeah, because I just realised it's going to take me a little while to do all of those ones.
Yeah.
Whilst the rolling pin's underneath.
All right, so while Bryony's doing that, I'm going to quickly show you how to bash that meat a little bit because to eat that probably in a sandwich might be a little bit overboard.
And wouldn't your crumbs get too brown by the time while you're cooking through the meat?
Yeah.
Thinner.
I know it is, Mr. Cameraman, out of shot. I'm just trying to move around like this so that I can get it right in, but also that you don't need to come over the top. I can just be here and just a little bit of a bash, double Glad wrap there or a bit of non-stick baking paper. Just give that a bit of a bash that side. I don't want it to be too thin because I want this to be, really nice and moist inside the sandwich. Yeah. So flour. Oh, I didn't season. That's right. Going too fast, my own good. Get off. And like that. I just don't particularly like pork going onto my rolling pin that I use to roll out pastry. Just something funny. I don't know why. Salt and pepper. Salt. And I've had...
Oh, now I've stuck my hand. I do it every time. Do you see how yellow this is? That's because we've got the Charcoal Springs pasture-raised chicken eggs. Now I've got one wet hand. Okay, dry hand, wet hand. That's how I'm supposed to do it. But, yeah, or do it with a friend. That sort of takes a bit more time. Are we crumbing those ones now, are we?
We're probably going to need
worry
another
about
egg.
These. Yes.
Well, perhaps we'll do too thick, too thin. How does that sound?
Sounds all right.
Because I did do this recipe for 4.
Yes.
And you've done 1.
I've done,
2. Here's another 2.
Yeah.
And I'm helping you now, you see.
You are.
So that's really nice when you've got a friend with you.
Yes.
But am I meant to be doing that as well?
I've run out of egg.
So we definitely need another egg.
Yep.
Hang on, I'll just go outside to get it. Come on, chookies.
And my panko's running a bit low. But with the panko...
Just laid, this one is. Look at that.
With the panko, it's a good idea just to put a bit in and then add some more, because otherwise if you've put your meat in there, you don't want to...
Yeah, definitely don't put loads of panko in. Actually, have we got any milk?
Yes, it's in the fridge. I had...
Oh,
yeah,
I'll just
so
go
I
milk the cow.
had put in, with that original mix, was a tablespoon of milk just to thin out the egg a little bit. It coats a lot better when it's got bit of milk in it. Yeah, is she?
Yeah.
He?
No, it has to be a she.
It does have to be
Yes,
a she.
it does have to be a she.
I
If you
know
just
that.
add a little bit of milk, then that loosens your egg up really quickly and really easily. Still that bright colour.
I know, it's amazing. And I've had eggs from other places that, you've got free range eggs or whatever.
Eggs from other places.
I know. Emergency buying
eggs.
But nothing comes out like that colour.
No.
Thank you. So, yes. All right. It's amazing yellow. Now I've got both hands wet. So you're heating up a pan to do this.
Decent amount of oil. We've got breadcrumbs on it. We're using a huge pan, so it looks like I've used quite a lot of oil, which I have.
But it is a shallow fry.
Maybe we don't. Do we? Yeah, go on.
What? Go on.
Doesn't
what?
matter. It
What are
is
you
a
gonna
shallow fry. Traditionally, it's deep fried, though. Can I pop that one in?
Yeah. You want to do the big ones first, obviously?
Yep.
Yeah.
So I've had my pan heating. Not super hot, everyone. Not super hot. Because as Bryony said earlier, what will happen is that the crumbs will start burning before the pork's cooked underneath.
Through.
So it's on a medium low, I would say, at the moment.
All right. Am I going straight in with this one?
Lovely.
Or you are?
Oh, what?
Nothing.
Did you say?
And I ran
here.
that one egg did 2 cutlets.
This is double crumbed, isn't it?
Yes, that
Yeah.
one's ready to go. This one's going
I just want
as
to try and
is.
keep it in sort of like the bread shape, because it makes it much easier to eat,
Well,
doesn't
that
it?
doesn't look like the bread shape.
No, these are good. So we've got this bread like this, and we've got to try and fit that in there, which we won't, but that's okay. So this is for when you've got a longer slice of bread. Doesn't matter.
If you're baking your own bread, you can have,
It's gonna
whatever
be
shape.
crazy. All right.
Okay, so lower heat. So we're going to get
I've
a
still
golden.
got a sizzle,
Yeah.
but the other ones are going to go in a little bit,
Yeah.
and they'll be much quicker to cook. They're like minute steaks, but these ones aren't.
And
like minute
yes,
steaks.
traditionally the bread is like soft white bread, and of course we're going to choose what bread we want to use.
Now,
Gone
if you,
from a
well,
quality soft white bread, and they
Yes.
generally cut the crusts off them too, don't they?
they do, and we were just having a conversation about that before we started, saying I wouldn't cut the crust off because my favourite part of the bread is the crust. I'm like, no.
Well, it's such a waste, isn't it?
And my dad always used to tell me that it would put hairs on my chest when I was younger. I didn't really understand what he was talking
did you
about.
want
I was
hairs
like,
on your chest?
Do I really want them? Is that what happens when you grow up? You get hairs on your chest if you've eaten your bread? Don't know, crusts. No is the answer. Too much information.
So your sauce is
I'm
beeped
just going to
there.
turn this up. Yeah, I'm just going to turn it up just a touch more. Sauce is beeped, and what I'm going to look for is just making sure that I think it may need another couple of minutes. Making sure that those veggies are soft in there. So I'll just get a little paring knife. And, oh yeah. It's probably the carrots could do with another minute or so, but we haven't got another minute or so really.
Yeah, we do.
Do we?
Yeah, you got to add this. Or if we're not using that one, we're going to have the cooled one that you've already made.
Oh, we have, but I do want to show you.
Yeah.
Because I'm excited about this.
So I'm putting on my Kevlar glove
So you could do
to
this in a minute. as well.
mandolin the red cabbage. So red or white cabbage. Red looks pretty cool. And then I'm just going to make a quick vinaigrette sort of thing with the rice vinegar and
Olive oil.
Olive oil.
We're
We're using light olive oil, so it hasn't got that olivey flavour because it's an Asian dish. But
Right.
oh, beautiful!
Wow. Bri, look, quick.
So of course, traditionally they wouldn't be using olive oil, but we like olive oil because it's good for you.
We're using the light olive
Yeah,
oil,
so
so we're not going to get the big olivey flavour in here. We're going to definitely keep the olive oil flavour to a minimum, but we're going to be using that. I'd much rather use that than vegetable oil.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's sort of like cooking a schnitzel, isn't it?
It is.
Is there anyone out there watching us today, Mr. Cameraman? Hello, girls.
Natalie and Sally. I as I said, went out for brunch on the weekend and had something a bit different for brunch and had pork dumplings. But well, it's not different if you're in Asia. I'm sure.
No, that's right. Lots of people have rice for breakfast. Yeah.
Anyway, so I tried the pork dumplings on their own, and then it had a bit of a slaw with it. And the dumplings on their own were a bit bland. But then when you add the slaw to it, so you've got that vinegar, you've got a bit of spice, they had a little bit of chili in it. It's just amazing. So it's all about the combination of everything in the dish. So we've got the vinegar, olive oil, light, cobram. And that's what we've cooked with.
Yes.
Yeah. And mix it up, a bit of salt.
Yeah. Every time you put vinegar in or something sharp in, you need to balance it out with a bit of salt.
Yeah.
Get that party started in that bowl. Get that salt in there going, hey, everybody. Chattering away they are.
All right. So that's going to be awesome. So you could put other things in that if you wanted to.
Oh, carrots but we're just trying to sort of keep it simple.
Yeah, but
I really wanted to concentrate quite a bit on the sauce. Because for dinner, I wouldn't have this as a pork katsu sandwich. I would have it.
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking.
I would have it as the cutlet with the
salad,
but make that a little bit more.
Yeah, so
you could
put some
in
carrot. I'd put some julienne chili through it as well.
That would be nice.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So any sort of crunchy
cucumber
stuff
would be really nice with this as well, like cucumber sticks or like little cubes of cucumber with that as well. Just like some really nice raw.
So you're having it chicken schnitzel
veggies.
wise, Asian style schnitzel.
Yep.
With a salad on the side.
A tonkatsu. Now what
and
I'm
then
doing
beautiful sauce.
is well this is the richness.
Like a palmy.
It's the sauce.
Asian palmy. Japanese palmy.
What I'm doing is I'm testing the meat to see how well done it is. Because when meat is raw, it's like a feather pillow. So it's really soft. You put your finger in it, it indents the meat. It doesn't spring back up again. As the meat cooks, the meat gets much more bouncy like a latex pillow, and it'll spring back up again as it cooks. So I'm looking for something in between a latex and a feather pillow.
And being pork, white meat, we don't have to have it fully cooked through. It can be what we call slightly blushed.
Absolutely. Quite a romantic, really, at heart. Blushed is a very, very good way of describing it.
Yeah, well, because you don't want it rare. It's not necessarily rare. It's like a chicken breast these days. Like people are a bit scared about having chicken or pork, but I think that's a little, I'm sorry to say, a little bit outdated. That because we have such great.
What I would say is 9 times out of 10.
Yeah.
I don't know what I was going to say. 9 times out of 10 of what?
Chicken breast. Blushed, pork blushed.
9 times out of 10, I would say cook your chicken through, but it can still be slightly springy and like it doesn't have to be like
but
rock.
when you take it off.
Yeah. Oh, I know what I was going to say.
Okay.
9 times out of 10, people think, oh, my chicken's put pink and not raw, and not cooked when they're eating thighs.
Oh,
so
yeah,
the
we get
thigh
that
meat can be a bit pinky because it's the brown meat on the chicken. So, sometimes people think it's uncooked, but it's not. That's just the colour. That is just the colour of the meat. I'm sort of going to almost say that those cutlets are done.
I'm going to put
these ones.
Your jar in a little bit in a bowl.
Oh, good, because I was going to do that. And
I saw it sitting on the bench before, and I put it in the fridge because I didn't know.
Now, my sauce here, this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful sauce, and this sauce are totally different textures because of the sugar that we've used. And this sauce is
I'm
that
going to clear some
corn
of this
syrup.
away.
It's really nice.
Yeah.
Really nice. I reckon we're here.
And of course, any Japanese sandwich
these are nice.
would not be complete without the quintessential Kewpie mayonnaise.
Oh, we're doing cute. Did I put Kewpie in there?
You
as
did.
well? Wow. Okay.
Why? Do you not want Kewpie? I'm
I
reading
don't
the.
know.
I read Kewpie.
Yeah, we
Kewpie,
did.
Japanese
no wonder it's
mayo.
nice. I haven't
No wonder
actually
it's
made.
nice.
I
You
haven't
haven't made it in a while.
I haven't actually made the sandwich in a while. I've made the sauce and the cutlet, but not so much the sandwich. We'll keep that. We can wrap that.
So are we
Use it
putting
to
together just 2 of them or 4?
No, I would say I would go.
You want to put 4 together?
4 together.
Okay.
What do you think? Or just do 2? 2. Oh, the cameraman says 2. Okay.
Assembling 2. I just wanted to use up the end of this jar. So shall I Kewpie one side?
Yeah,
and
I'm just.
okay.
That's not
Yep.
too bad, is it?
And barbecue sauce the other side.
Yeah.
Konkatsu.
Kewpie on the bottom. Woo.
That's a bit of Kewpie.
Yeah, that is a bit of Kewpie.
Well, it just sort of splattered out. I'll spread
It
it.
did,
I'm
didn't
going to
it?
use.
Are we doing 4 or? I'm doing that with here. I'll. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I was just trying to help take
Yeah.
some off, wasn't
Yeah.
I? I was just trying to help everybody.
All right. So
Oh.
that's that.
I remember watching Maggie Beer, and she came in on one of her videos, and she started. Well, it wasn't one of her videos. Somebody
This
else
is
was doing it.
The cook and the.
Or was I? Oh, I think we were at the pheasant farm,
All right.
and she came in and started
Taking over.
taking over. And she said, "Oh, I'm really sorry, but I sort of do that quite often." And I was like, "God, do you know what?
Did you wait?
I
You
know
go, oh God.
exactly
How annoying
you
would that
feel."
be?
No."
All right. So which one? I know I've
Love
got
you,
the big one
Maggie.
here because it doesn't quite fit in the thing.
Yeah.
Is this one of the thinner
That's
ones?
the thinner
Yeah.
one, and that's the thicker one.
That
So
looks
then
much
people
better.
can sort of make up
It
their
looks
mind.
better,
can't
but you know, this would be good in like almost a baguette
I'm
type
trying
thing.
to. Yeah, actually would. I'm trying to sort of tidy up so it looks sort of semi-okay.
Well, that's all right. We'll just put the camera over this way and they
And
can't
while-
see what's going on over there.
And while Bry's constructing the sandwich, I'm going to wrap her in
Oh, yeah.
a bit
Okay.
of. Yeah, don't step back.
Woohoo. So we've got
Excellent.
Kewpie, we've got schnitzel, we've got coleslaw.
I just don't want
it's
to-
not coleslaw. Cabbage. And then I'm going to. I just want to stick that in my mouth, so I won't do that right now. Save that. And cut this up. I'm going to go with.
Where's the sauce? Oh, it's in there. Okay. I can't do this around you. It's annoying,
Well,
isn't it? Is it annoying you?
Now you take your whole pot around that
okay.
side.
Well, I just didn't want to get shouted at. That I was
Okay,
out of the
shouted
kitchen.
at. God. So, I'm going to take this out the way. I also need, so can you see, oh, you're splattering yourself everywhere. So maybe at home, put it in a jug or something, and that would be easy to blitz it without splattering yourself.
Yeah, it'd be much easier, wouldn't it, in a jug?
Yeah, and making it go splatter all over
And
the
it
place.
needs a little bit more cooking, I hate to say, Bri.
Okay. Well, lucky there's one you
know what I
prepared
did
earlier.
at home? I've just remembered what I did at home. I used Hayley's Bullet.
NutriBullet.
Yeah, NutriBullet, and that made it really nice. But it was on for about 5 minutes. So I'm not going to do that for 5 minutes. I'm going to
She's
pop
splattering
that.
it everywhere.
Yeah, I'm splattering it everywhere. In the NutriBullet, it didn't go
All right,
everywhere. I was
do it in
thinking
the
this didn't
Thermomix.
happen. This, yeah, perfect. Thermomix or
And
NutriBullet.
I could have cooked it, and I couldn't have done the caramel in the Thermomix, but I could have done the rest. Anyway, but getting a nice smooth consistency. I'm trying to decide which one to cut. Or can I do both?
I'd cut both.
See,
Let's just make sure
I
that
wanna go
the
that-
sandwich is on the right one. Yeah, which way are you going to cut it? You're going to cut it that way.
Well,
That's
I was
fine.
thinking
We're going to
because
cut.
of that's. The
I tell you what, let's go over to Ruth Hall while we
Well, we figure
while
out
we're
which way to
figuring
cut
out
it.
which
It's
way
a
to
really
cut
hard
it.
decision.
We're going to cross to Ruth Hall at the
Oh,
wine
yes.
box.
What are we drinking
And,
with this?
Well, Ruth has got a lovely cider from
I was
Rolly
just gonna
Stone.
say cider.
Woo!
Again,
I know,
yes.
or pork. Apple.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Oh,
Absolutely
there you
brilliant. Over to Ruth at the wine box in South Perth.
Good afternoon. It's Ruth Hall here from the Wine Box in South Perth. I've been asked to food and wine match today for a lovely pork tonkatsu sandwich. Now, I had the joy of putting together the flavours because I really wanted to figure out the components of this dish. I loved the fruitiness of the tonkatsu sauce. It was really, really fascinating to me, and I felt that this particular cider would work very, very well in the fact that it's lovely, crisp, but a very nice fruit-driven background. It's made with apples and pears, all from the Perth Hills. It's produced at Rayburn Orchard for Rolling Stone Brewing Company. I have a little affiliation for the Rayburn Orchards, as in we used to live just up the road and the kids used to sneak off and buy lots of lollies from there. However, the fruit was always superb, and I'm really pleased to be able to present it to you in canned form.
So there you go. That's Ruth's suggestion, and lovely to know that she knows exactly where the
wow, you got sauce
orchard
all the
is.
way up here.
Oh, have I? Exactly where the orchard is. So here we go. If we can have a close-up of our beautiful tonkatsu sandwich.
I did that one on an angle because that's kind of how the meat.
That's what she decided.
I decided, and this one's just a straight little rectangles. So that one is beautifully cooked there. Then let's have a look at this thinner one.
It won't be so. The thinner one will be more bready and less meaty.
Oh, sorry, I'm looking at the screen. Yeah, that's awesome. Right.
I'm going to go.
Oops.
Should we have a big bite?
Go on then. I don't think both of us can.
That is just. Oh my gosh.
Can we do the top shot, please, Anthony?
Whether you can see that. I don't.
Because I can see the moisture in that.
Moisture, or maybe the side shot would be better on that one. Don't know.
So knows? Doing a
there you go. Ooh.
The thicker one, definitely. If you're just having you go. If you're having it not in the sandwich, I think the thicker one tastes. We'll have to assess. Like in a sandwich, I think the thin one might be the way to go. No, you think the thick one? I can't. Nobody will be able to talk.
Oh,
I will.
Oh my gosh.
Good?
Yeah.
She's going again. Well, thanks for joining us today. And next week, what were you cooking? Your Belinda Jeffries, was it? Mm-hmm. It's a green pie something. I'm not here because it's school holidays.
Green and leek pie. I'm going to show you how to make olive oil pastry. It's the easiest pastry to make. You stretch it really, you stretch it really fine. But you can make it with any pastry. But it's a lovely filling. We're going to use lots of greens from Southern Forest. And
are you regretting having 2 bites now?
No, I've got to finish that. It's absolutely delicious, that tonkatsu sandwich, and I'm really proud of my sauce.
Yes. Yeah.
So join us next Wednesday, or join me next Wednesday. Bri's got school holidays coming up. So she will be watching us possibly at home, or not at all, turning her phone to silent. Who knows?
Doing some thing like bowling or something.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for watching us. Hope you've enjoyed that. The recipe is on the Cooks Collective right now. Thank you.
Bye.